Almost 1 year ago, I was in the car with some of my friends when my friend who was driving decided to start driving recklessly. He started speeding and swerving in and out of lanes to cut other drivers off. And at one point, while we were going pretty fast on the freeway, he made a quick jolt movement to cut off another driver. And I was lifted up and out of my seat, and my whole body was slammed against the car door that I was sitting there. And I hit my head pretty bad on the window, and I found out later that I had a concussion. And the side of my body that hit the car door was pretty badly bruised up. So according to the website Road Driver, drivers aged 17 to 24 drive the fastest. So today I'll be discussing the dangerous act of speeding while driving in the hopes of bringing its consequences into light and hopefully deterring its practice. So first I'm going to share a story with you that will inform you on the dangers of speeding, and then I'll go over some of the reasons why people speed, and then finally what we can do to minimize the risk. So it's no surprise that there are incredible risks when driving at high speeds. According to Cadell Whalen, attorneys at law, 13,000 lives are lost each year due to speeding. So some of you may recognize this picture from the news. These are siblings Elias, age 16, and Alexis, age 18. According to ABC 7 Eyewitness News, Elias and Alexis were both killed on January 29, 2015, during a high-speed crash. And it was confirmed that the siblings were both street racing with another car when the driver, 18-year-old Alexis, she lost control of the car and she crashed into a van. The driver of the van was injured, but he survived. However, both Elias and Alexis were pronounced dead at the scene. And this was the car that they were driving. So speeding is not something just done by a small minority of irresponsible drivers. There are people who speed for the thrill, but most people speed because they claim it's an accepted social norm because everybody does it. So Road Driver posted some of the possible reasons for drivers breaking the speed limit. They're late or in a hurry, they're in a bad mood, chances of getting caught are low, they're impatient, they like driving fast, they do not know what the speed limits are, they do not regard speeding as a serious offense, they feel pressured into keeping up with other drivers, or their car is faster and newer than yours. So this one really stood out to me because my boyfriend and his friends, they all have brand new, fast, expensive cars that they feel compel them to race each other. And I don't get it, but I wanted to know why. So I texted him and I asked him, why do you race your friends? So I screenshot our conversation so that you guys can see. So this is actually the real, I cropped it so you guys can't see the rest, but. So he replied, we race to just compete with each other to see who has the fastest car. So then I shared with him the story that I just shared with you about Elias and Alexis. And he listened, but he still decided to go out and race his friends again anyway. So I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like most people our age, like my boyfriend, they have this kind of attitude like, I know what can happen, but that's not going to happen to me. So what can we do to minimize the danger that we often put ourselves and others in? Basically, just stop speeding. While driving, glance at the speedometer every once in a while to monitor your speed and make sure that you're aware of the speed limits in your area. It's really as simple as leaving a little earlier so that you don't feel rushed. And you should never put yourself in a position where you feel pressured to get somewhere on time and you feel like you need to speed in order to do it. So that story that I shared with you earlier about being in the car with my friends and getting a concussion, that actually happened the day before my high school graduation. And I don't know, like, it just kind of gave me a different perspective on speeding. Thankfully, I just got a concussion, like a bump on my head. I couldn't sleep for a certain amount of hours and a couple bruises on my body. But when I actually had the time to think about what happened, it could have been a lot worse, and I might not have made it to my graduation the next day. So at this point, you should all be aware of the dangers of speeding and hopefully less likely to take the risk. But if for some reason you've heard everything I've said to you today and you still feel like there's no need to be cautious, just take a moment to really think about what you're doing when you're speeding. The lives that you're putting in danger, not only yours but others, is it worth the risk? Thank you.